Hey everybody, it's Justin Howard with Flaming Flower Productions. We're here today to learn about orchids. Most common asked question about an orchid is, how do I water my orchid? What's going to make my orchid last the longest? Here's your orchid. Not in a decorative pot, just from Trader Joe's or like I said from the farmer's market. And you water it as simple as just kidding. I mean, a simple question like how to water an orchid would seem so easy, right? Well, orchids are very temperamental, as we all know. An orchid inside a decorative pot is much different. There's a much different way to water that than there is to water your standard orchid that's out of a decorative pot. Now, what I just did is actually pretty effective as far as getting enough water into the orchid. You can see I can still squeeze some out. So that is one way, but it might make a mess in your kitchen or at your house. Another way to do it is to just take a bucket of water and you simply just take your orchid and you want to submerge and dip completely. Hold for 10, 15 seconds, lift up, and let it drain out of the pot. This way, all of your orchid is completely getting saturated. All the moss that holds the root system together is getting completely saturated with water. That's the key to watering an orchid, is that you want everything to be moist and get water. If you're doing an orchid, or you're watering an orchid that's in a decorative pot, the best way I suggest to water is with a spray bottle. As simple as a bunch of sprays. Now people say 15 to 20 sprays, so you can sit there like an idiot and count if you want. When your moss is moist, it's going to send moisture down into the root system of the orchid. And that's what we need. That's the way you water an orchid, is to get its root system moist. You might want to do that, let it sit, come back a couple minutes later, go brush your teeth, go take care of business. I don't know what you got to do. Come back and spray it a little bit more. People say, put ice cubes on top, 5, 10, 15 ice cubes. The concept is good, but what happens sometimes with ice cubes is the water is so cold that it can shock the root system from being so cold. So the key is that when water drips through, you want it to stay inside the root system, not just run through it. So Justin's way to water an orchid, or Flaming Flower Productions' way, is with a spray bottle or a bucket of water.